Well, so back to that. So we, what are my ideas of engagement on social media? So one, platforms, know your audience, know the audience that exists on those platforms. Number two, when it comes to content creation, journaling, DJing, Q&A, and create. Depends on how creative you are. Third question, or third pillar of social media engagement is posting strategies. More. 3 to 7 times per day is really what a business should be having. When it comes to you individually, again, understand that context of what you need to do. Also, understand the power of the hashtag. It makes your post searchable. Makes also, you can search out posts. The power of tagging businesses and individuals allows you to piggyback on who their followers are. And then next is, when it comes to posting strategies, is making sure you stay in somewhat of a theme of who you are. If you're not someone that's motivated by motivational quotes, then don't post out motivational quotes. It doesn't align with who you are. Last one, fourth pillar, is realtors will commonly say, when it comes to buying property, location. When it comes to social media, it's engagement. And I'd say not just social media, I'd say from a marketing, sales perspective, engagement is what matters. So you're engaging with people that make comments, good or bad. They're asking questions. They're leaving feedback, good or bad. You're responding to that in a timely manner. Why do I think SMART goals are misleading? So SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and then time frame, SMART. The reason why I think they're misleading is because they're focused sometimes on short-term results when really they're meant to be long-term goals. So for example, if you want to be an engineer and you're just getting into college, you don't know what kind of an engineer you might want to be. And what's more important is focusing on what's going to get you there. Studying, talking to other engineers, getting an internship, setting yourself up for the next career. Should you go get a master's degree? Figuring out how you get there is far more important than that end result of getting that, that bachelor's degree or master's degree in engineering. A lot of the principles that you're learning in college are going to apply, and you want to make sure you don't just you want to make sure that you understand it. That way you're going to be a good contributor as an engineer in your career. Aina Diane Pasa asks, how do you choose the subjects for your videos or podcasts? So I kind of just talked about it before. My podcast is in themes. Monday's leadership, Tuesday's career progression, Wednesday's motivation, Thursday's social media, Friday's personal development. And when it comes to my creation of videos, I kind of come up with these 4 approaches when it comes to content. Is I create some of my own thoughts, some of my own uniqueness. Number 2 is I DJ out stuff. So stuff that I learn, I disseminate to you, and I DJ out kind of the greatest hits. Next is I do a business Ask Me Anything, just like we're doing right now. And then finally is I'll look at opportunities to journal, just share with you. So journal, DJ, business Ask Me Anything, be creative. Next question. Joshua asks, who are your inspirations when it comes to leadership and motivation? So my inspirations first come from family when it comes to inspiration and motivation and leadership. Luckily, I had phenomenal parents. I have phenomenal parents. I have phenomenal siblings, great spouse, amazing friends that I look up to, and I admire their specific skill sets. And I understand that all of them have strengths and all of them have weaknesses. And so I focus in on the strengths. And when it comes to weaknesses, I hope that I can avoid some of their weaknesses and frailties and missteps, so that way I can avoid them as well. And so by being able to look at your group that you're closest to, that can be really powerful for you to be able to make sure that you're done. Next step is Anna. She asks, can you share 4 tips to become a good leader? Similar to what tips that I gave to Dean earlier is I'd say 1, learn to ask good questions. And so this one is tough because a lot of times your area of expertise or experience is going to dictate the kind of questions you ask. And so remember, you're going to want to ask questions that you don't know the answers to. So sometimes that might make you feel like you don't know, and that's okay. Next one is be a proactive listener. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth, using that ratio. 3 is be good at conversations in order to get them to communicate to you what their motivator is. In the business world, we call it your KPI, your key performance indicator, what's really motivating you to want to win. The 4th one is learn how to be a people builder. Develop other leaders, develop those people to become better workers, better employees, better managers. If they're managers already, help them become true servant leaders and game changers in the organization. Kiyome asks, how can one discover what makes them unique and special? Do a ton of stuff. You'll find out what you suck at, what you don't like, and then you also find out what you do enjoy and what makes you somewhat unique. And again, just because someone else plays in the same realm that you do, there's other people that do social media, there's other people that do, they're engineers, there's other people that do, painting, doesn't mean that you're not unique, because we all have our own different experiences that shape the way that we view the world and the way that we engage in it. Next question, Bara T. Sharkar asks, what advice can you give people regarding actions or behavior, almost done K.A. by the way, or behavior that sabotages themselves? So I call this self-sabotage. That there are people out there that, based on their circumstances of life, they will actually get in their own way. Hey, Sweet Lola Cupcakes, by the way, make a comment and I'll pin you because it's National Donut Day. Sweet Lola's got some sweet stuff cooking. I couldn't get over there from 8 to 9, by the way, but I knew you guys had some good stuff cooking. So it's interesting in that when it comes to sabotage, is that there's certain things that happen in our lives that we're not ready to handle. So be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. So for example, you've been promoted to be a manager. Now you're leading 10 people and they report to you. Now all of a sudden you're responsible for the deliverables of every single person that reports to you. So not only are you responsible for yourself, but you're responsible for those 10 other people as well. So now you got 11 people that you have to be concerned about on their deliverables. And so you'll find out very quickly, do I have the leadership chops to lead other people? And so commonly I'll ask, people when they start out of the company and they feel a little bit like they're not being taken advantage of from their skill set perspective. And I'll say, imagine then that you got that next promotion. What would your strategies be? Well, how would they be different than what's currently happening? And are you confident enough that you can deliver that kind of result of 10% growth or whatever that result is needed? And then sometimes they'll balk at that. And they'll say, I don't know if I can. Like, how can I do that? And that's where I'll say, that's the struggle, right? Because you don't feel like you're ready for that. You're not really ready for the main stage. And so you want to be able to make sure that you get yourself ready in order to get there. So the struggle with like self-sabotage is where what happens is we already, knowing our own weaknesses, we still do them. And so it's not that it's not that we're addicts. I'm not going down that road because that's a whole different conversation. But it's a person that says, an example, somebody was telling me about their struggle with money, and so they earn more money than their parents ever did their lifetime, and so they're earning really, really good money. And so the problem that they have with that is that they're sometimes afraid of that money, because that money means that they're going to have to outgrow some of their old friends. It means that money that they might be living in a different community. With that money, they might be doing different things. And so they might be outgrowing their own mindset, their own limiter on where they are in the world. And that can be very tough for some people. And so what happens is that person is that they self-sabotage themselves by not managing that wealth very well. They burn it, they literally spend it all because they have these bad habits. Or they don't know how to get it because they're concerned that they are going to have to outgrow people. And that's something that they have to get over as well. Money's a very emotional thing. All right. So next question. There's just a few more, everybody, here on this Business Ask Me Anything. Got any questions, feel free to put them below in the comment section. We'll get to them. Would you say that ROI of Facebook and social media is unlimited? Yes, because it's a communication tool. That's all it is, communication tool. That's how you should leverage it. Jewel asks, how can one foster great mentor-mentee relationships? What is supposed to be an amazing mentor? Being an amazing mentor is just being a great leader. Your best mentors, though, allow the mentee to really dictate that relationship, dictate that conversation. So I would tell that mentee, okay, we're going to be in this relationship, we're going to meet monthly, then you're going to have the agenda. If you don't have the agenda ready, if you don't know what you want to talk about, then there's no value to meet. And so in order for me to be able to give value to you, you need to make sure that you're really running this show. Because I can tell you a whole multitude of stuff, but if you don't know what you want, then there's no point in meeting. And so by allowing that mentee to take ownership of that relationship, you're gonna be able to provide advice and expertise and guidance based on what they need, not what you think they need. Kathleen asks, what strategies should a person use in developing their personal brand? Do you think everybody should have a personal brand? So everybody has a personal brand. Whether you want to admit it or not, you do. It's your reputation. It's how you're being perceived in the world. And this is like the only era that I know of that you can actually control it by yourself. You don't need to hire an outside company. You don't need to go talk to a reporter. You can broadcast on any medium possible and tell people, this is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is how I want to help people win. Or this is I'm a jerk and I want to give you some really bad advice and have some crass jokes that, again, Roseanne Barr got herself fired because of it. And the whole team, the whole crew, all out of jobs because some stupid tweet, some dumb comment that she made. Sorry, game over. All right. Next is, so when it comes to the strategies, remember we talked about before, the 4 pillars: platform, content, posting strategies, and of course, last one, engagement. And Marina asks, if you want to change jobs, what advice can you give about how to find the right fit? The right fit really is what you enjoy doing. So write down everything that you enjoy doing. And it could be, hey, I love sports. I love athletics. I love going for a run. I love hiking. Guess what? There's companies out there called REI, Nike, Foot Locker, East Bay. All these companies are focusing on that stuff. So if you're totally in on that, why not? There's a ton of companies that if you're totally into fitness, you can go be a personal trainer. Pinka Monday asks, what can you do when you discover the goals that you have for yourself are no longer satisfying? Get rid of them. Don't be married to your goals. Goals are just there to be able to get you moving towards something, to feel like you're accomplishing something. You can kind of check it off. You can stay motivated. But the moment that you're not motivated by it, cut it loose, do something else. Give you a perfect example. Buddy of mine, pilot, decided to get into the family business, was running some McDonald's, sold the McDonald's because he was not enjoying it anymore, got back into flying. No big deal. So again, figure out, is it painful because you had to start at the bottom of the totem pole again? Yeah, it was painful. But guess what? It's necessary in order for you to enjoy what you want from a career perspective. Mardeja asks, what aspects of you do you keep hidden from close friends and loved ones? So with loved ones, I'll tell them everything. I'll share my highs, my lows, my weaknesses. They see everything. So there's no point in hiding anything from them. Just tell them this is how it all is. When it comes to close friends, sometimes they don't need to hear the problems, the struggles, because they either can or can't help you. And so if you tell another person, okay, this is what I'm struggling with, and they're not really in that inner circle, then you're kind of just, I don't know, talking about what sucks. That's it. Oh, that's me. Again, know your own circle. Know how you communicate. Erico Kaya asks, why is it so important for leaders to identify strengths and weaknesses in their team? Because if you could have every single person in your team only doing their strengths, you'd have a much more efficient team. What's the best ways to further develop those skills? Know exactly what their skills are. If you need to buy a book, Strength Finder 2.0, if you need to have one-on-one conversations, you need to do DISC assessments, you need to do personality assessments, find out what their strengths are. And they might not necessarily know. You can ask them what they enjoy doing. Like when they come into work, what are some of their best things to do? Some of your staff will surprise you in saying, I love greeting people. I love engaging with our customers when they come into the door. Well, then what's that experience? So, like, maybe they can think of a great way that they can greet people. Maybe they can, you can have, some awesome fragrances in the office smelling. Like I go to this one dentist place, Glazier Dental, and it smells phenomenal in there. That was by design. It wasn't by accident. Somebody thought about the experience that patients were going to have and decided, let's make sure it smells freaking awesome in here. And it does. And so there's different things that as you're talking to people, what do you really enjoy doing? Oh, I love crunching the numbers. I really love being kind of in the back. Well, then keep doing that. How can we keep shoveling more stuff at you? And then let's not make you go to networking events because you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to be filled with anxiety. It's not going to be fun for you. But if they say to you, I want to get good at that, okay, well, let's help you get there. So there's different strengths and weaknesses that we have. Some weaknesses we want to overcome. So others we don't. A weakness of mine, always late, disorganized. There is no desire to me to like sit down with an organizational specialist and have them show me how to be organized. I really don't care. It's just not what I'm going to do. Be attention to detail. Love doing paperwork. Sure, I can show you how to be super productive paperwork. Not my gig. I don't care. That's what staff is for. My job, bring in the business. Somebody else do the details. Right? It's that whole idea of in the parade. Right? Parade goes through beautiful things and back right behind it, cleaning crew. That's exactly what it is. If teams are only focused on their strengths, they're going to win 9 times out of 10. The 1 time out of 10 is where someone's too selfish. Marie Chris asks, what can a person do to build confidence and self-esteem and to become an influence in the work? So self-esteem and confidence really comes down to you getting experience. I know that sucks to hear because for some people that are super new, they want to be confident, they want to be a game changer, they want to be an influencer in their industry right now in their community. Well, they just graduated from college, they're 22 years old, they haven't worked a single moment yet. An internship at, getting coffee didn't really add value. And now you want to play in the arena of work. Your network, by the way, is a bunch of other 20-some-year-olds that have zero experience as well. And so build up your network, understand exactly what you do. So when it comes to experience and knowledge, I think a lot of times you go to industry conferences, you talk to other experts. There's this old book called Never Eat Lunch Alone. Look at talking to those experts and what they're doing and how you can win and learn from them. Industry trade magazines is a great way to be able to just start becoming a sponge and not only knowledgeable, but then experience. So experience to me is applying all that knowledge in wise ways, right? So making good decisions and bad decisions, that's going to help you learn. Final thoughts that I had there is you can also network in your own industry, know the different players, know the different companies, what are they doing, what's their strengths, what's their weaknesses, who are the right people to be talking to. And then finally is, I think for anyone that's more of an introvert, social media is like your game changer. You have LinkedIn, you have Instagram, you have all these different tools. LinkedIn obviously being the professional one. You can learn. There's a learning section, all these slideshows that you can watch for free on LinkedIn. You can connect with other people in the industry. You can connect with people that are out of the industry, people in other cities. You can know what's going on, so that way you're in the loop. So those are all the business Ask Me Anythings. Really enjoy this opportunity to be able to share this with you guys. If there's anything that I could do to add value to you, please let me know. Sherm's out. Sherm's out Facebook.